Hey everybody, this is Rykard here again, back with another black and white upgrade. Today we're going to be discussing some new things that Blastoise is able to do due to its new ability in the Dream World. So let's take a look. So in case you have never heard of Pokemon before, this is Blastoise, and it's one of the starters from Kanto in the first game. But it is a mono water type, and like most other starting Pokemon, its first ability that it will ever get is known as Torrent. But since the release of the Dream World and the 5th gen, there is actually another ability that Blastoise can get, which is known as Rain Dish, which under Rain increases her HP by a 16th of her health, similar to that of what Leftovers gives. So this is actually going to be a very useful ability, I think, in this generation due to the advent of the Drizzle Politoed that sets up Rain for the entirety of the battle. And because of this, we can actually make Blastoise into an amazingly bulky, stalling kind of Pokemon that could have a lot of uses on rain teams. But just looking at its stats, you can tell that it has some pretty great defenses, seeing it as, 100 defense and 105 special defense with 79 HP, which is a pretty good HP stat. But it also has some really good attacking stats, despite, being more of a defensive Pokemon. But we're not going to really worry too much about the attacking stats at the moment, but we're just going to make note of the fact that it is a fairly defensive Pokemon, and it gets Rain Dish as its Dream World ability. So with that, let's take a look at the set that I have come up with to try and make the greatest amount of use out of its stats and new ability under a hopeful Rain team that you may be running. So for this set, we're going to be giving Blastoise a Calm Nature to increase its special defense but lower its physical attack. And then we're going to be using the ability Rain Dish, which it gets in the Dream World, to allow us to recover HP during rain, which is hopefully going to be up. As for the EVs though, we're going to put 252 into your HP to give you your max HP, 96 into defense to give you some pretty okay defense EV boosts, and then 160 into your special defense to give you some good special defense along with your calm nature. As for the item though, we're going to be using Leftovers as another way of recovering HP at the end of every turn. Wow, I just stumbled there. But since Hopeful Rain is going to be up, you're going to be getting Rain Dish HP, Leftovers HP, and then for your first move, Aqua Ring HP. So that's equal to 3/16 of your health. So that's really cool because you can obviously protect right after that and then gain 6/16 of your health pretty much every other turn, which is ridiculously amazing, and that's like almost half of your HP just by using Aqua Ring, Rain Dish, and Leftovers in combination with one another. So that's really great, and because of Blastoise being a naturally bulky Pokemon, you're gonna benefit from that greatly because of the fact that you won't be losing a lot of HP unless your opponent's dealing out some kind of super effective damage, in which case you really shouldn't be putting Blastoise in anyways. But you get the point. So Aqua Ring and Protect are supposed to work in combination with one another to pretty much stall out anything and survive for a really long time. But with that, we're going to be using Boiling Water because that is also another great move that Blastoise can use in 5th gen to benefit the set, because not only does it have a chance to cause burn, but under rain it'll be doing even more damage, plus stab and everything like that. And as you saw before, Blastoise's attacking stats really aren't that bad, even though we're not putting any EVs into them, so you're still very capable of dealing out some good damage with it. But the main thing we're going for is the burn, because that's why the EV spread is the way it is, because with a burn you don't really need as much defense as you would special defense, if that makes any sense. But for the last move, we're either going to be using Refresh or Toxic. And the reasoning for Refresh is because since you are stalling, you are often crippled by things like Toxic or things like that. So Refresh is an amazing way to take a status and just get rid of it with that move. And a lot of people don't really use it, but I think it works amazingly on the set just because of the fact that not only can you use Blastoise to, take hits forever, hopefully, with, combining Protect and then your 3 ways to recover at the end of every turn, but you can also allow it to take statuses no matter what it is, because, or maybe, except for sleep, obviously, because you'll be asleep. But Refresh is an amazing way to take a status and then get rid of it on the next turn because, you don't want some of your other more powerful Pokemon getting statused or things like that. So this turns Blastoise into an amazing status absorber. On the other hand, though, you could switch Refresh for Toxic as a way to stall out your opponent more, because obviously the chance for boiling water to burn is only 30%, and it doesn't increase in damage the way Toxic does, but it does have some pretty good damage to begin with. But still, Toxic is probably the better stalling status as opposed to Burn. But in my opinion, going with Refresh is better just because you can pretty much guarantee that Blastoise will be able to last in battle for a ridiculously long time. And on a rain team, there's really no reason to not use Blastoise. Like, because of something like this and, his good defenses, as I've been saying, he really can just tank hits and survive for a really long time. And that is why I think that, Rain Dish and Boiling Water are amazing upgrades to Blastoise's ability in battle. But that is pretty much it for this set. As you can see, Blastoise is pretty much an awesome bulky Pokemon, and he's still one of the coolest starting Pokemon ever, in my opinion. But that is it, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this, so take care and goodbye.